friends and acquaintances. Hey, today, how about something new and different? Angel food cupcakes. Okay, so I'm a little rusty, but I'm going to try really hard to do this right, and using modern technology. What a concept. Anyway, couple things you want to do, kind of like get yourself all set up. We're going to be beating egg whites, so the key is you can have no oil on anything. Make sure everything's really clean. Make sure your mixing bowl's clean. You are going to need to use a whisk attachment. I'm afraid that a hand mixer would just about do you in, because it's going to take a while. And you want to be able to control it. And you can do it with a hand mixer. I don't mean to discourage you. Anything's better than nothing, right? But what I'm going to do this time is I've got really heavy duty cupcake tins, and I'm using silicone instead of paper. That's going to be fun because I've only used these once before. I'm so used to using paper because that's all I ever had. But everyone tells me it's worth the risk. So I'm expecting to make about 16 of these little beauties, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So what do we got? Get all our stuff together, and I've got the oven almost to 325. It'll definitely be there by the time I get this all done. So what I need to do first, you do some sifting. Because sifting combines the ingredients and makes sure everything's really like cool, all right? So you can sift with a little hand sifter. This is what I use. Cheap, but it works. Or how about a fine mesh tool? Pretty cool. These are really great for all sorts of things, but you just want to make sure that mesh is really fine, kind of like a fencing mask. On guard. I know this oven's going to be like at temperature and going to do its little tune for me in just a second. I hate trying to talk over it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sift together 4 tablespoons of cake flour. Ooh, okay. It's probably something you don't have. I was planning on making this a while ago. Bought cake flour. It got too old. I literally had to throw it away and buy a new box. Hey, great. What a waste of money. So it's 4 tablespoons of cake flour, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and we want that 1/8 of a teaspoon. We call that a pinch of salt. So I got this here. So what's the next thing I do? I have 6 tablespoons of sugar. Oh, sugar. Okay. So I took the time to really make sure I cleaned up some spatulas and stuff. Just want to get this together. And I will tell you, it's worth the effort to use oversized bowls so you're not sloshing things around. Just about anything in this process, it'll be helpful. So just, and I use a narrow one so I'm not flipping it everywhere. And if you use a bigger one, use cut strokes instead of paddle strokes. You know what I mean? You just go cut through it, just keep going around and around. Make sure you get all off the edges. I'm going to set this aside. I guess I have to set it up here. Want to keep it out of the danger zone. So what's the next step we're going to do? Get the beast turned around, ready to go, right? I need egg whites of 6 large eggs. I'm going to have to talk and tell you things before I get this started. Because once it goes, it's a going. So what are we trying to accomplish here? So what I want to do is I want to make a nice frothy, to start with, mix. So what do I need to add? This is really going to sound strange, but it's really important. And it's something that if you made really nice fluffy omelets, you'd understand. I need a tablespoon of warm water. So I just took some water out of the tap. And I really don't want to get too much in there, so I'm just going to pour some over the sink. Cool. I know I'm going to need a rag. I do not want to drip excess stuff in there, okay? Now, what do I need? I need 3/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Well, I was looking everywhere. I've never heard of such a thing. So if you're shy or afraid, that's a 1/2 and 1/4 teaspoon, right? I'm going to use my 1 teaspoon and just not fill it all the way, okay? If you don't know what cream of tartar is, first of all, it's like anything else when you're using leavening agents or anything to help rise or bind. It's got to be fresh. So I had to go and buy this fresh. And cream of tartar. It's actually for like meringues and angel food cakes. Beaten eggs is what it's specialty for. It stabilizes. So this isn't going to fit in here. So what I'm going to do, I had to change by a different brand. It's all I had in the store. Can you believe that? So it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And I can either level this and do it again, but I know this is 3/4. It's a 1/2 teaspoon with a little mound on it. That's 3/4. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to start the process. I just want to get a little gentle action. Anyway, so I want to add a little vanilla extract. Believe it or not, once again, it would normally be 3/4 of a teaspoon. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use a 1/2. And if you splash a little, it's okay. Right? Because we want that 3. I don't like vanilla to be the overpowering flavor. So, go ahead, do this one hand. So what I want to do is I used a little more than 1/2 teaspoon, just a smidge more, but I'm going to put a splash of almond extract. Don't tell them, that's my secret, how to make a really good angel food cake. It's in there. Okay, once again, a little wipe, clean it all up. Now, I'm going to make this foamy. Just want to make sure that little cream of tartar is splashed around. That won't work because we don't want chunks of cream of tartar. I'm just going to wipe this off onto the whisk. It smells really good, and that's the almond extract. Okay, so what have I got here now? Just want to show you. It's literally just foamy. Alright, you see that? It's nice and foamy. It's not soft peaking or anything yet. So now what I need to do is we've just started this process. I'm going to keep it on a low speed and I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of sugar. So let's get the bowl back up. Get it going around a little at a time. I'm going to turn it off just for a second. So now what I'm going to do is again, medium high, we're going to get these soft peaks. So I'm going to wait to check it. So this is almost soft peak. It's just starting to run down and making a pile. It probably needs another 2 minutes. Not even. Not even. Now if I were to explain this to you, I could be doing this a little quicker. But basically what we're seeing is when it's hitting the surface of the eggs, it's just making some soft peaks. Now I know a lot of people think that soft peaks means you want it like standing up. Remember, these are soft peaks. We'll talk about getting real firm peaks in a little bit, but not for right now. Okay. Everything mixes really well when you're talking about liquids also, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, what I got to do, I'm going to get my original flour, right? We're going to add this real slowly. Now, I used to have a chute, which broke for this. So I really want to be careful and add very slowly. So I'm actually going to turn it off, add a couple tablespoons, turn it off. And there's not a huge amount of content in here, so it won't take that long. is I lower my bowl. I want to make sure we've got all the flour off the sides. Let's really change consistency, which I'm going to show you in just a second. This is that flour and sugar and all that good stuff. So you can see it's getting kind of glazed and a nice consistency. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh, yes, I know. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little manual work here. I'm going to take my wet spoon from the eggs. I just want to get everything off from here. This is so beautiful. Beautiful, I say. This recipe should make like 16 to 18 depending on how you fill them, how fluffy it gets. You know, humid days are always sucky to make this in. The other thing that's really strange for me is that when you make this in a colder climate, you get better results here in the heat. Even though we keep our air conditioner rolling, which keeps the humidity down, it's still higher temperature. So like I said, I really, really want to make this beautiful. Just make sure everything's incorporated. And you can kind of feel with your spatula. It should be nice and tacky. I really want to, but I'm not going to. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Make room. Grab my first one. These need to be 3/4 full, all right? So, what's 3/4 full? This is a number, my new ones don't have the measurements on. Anyways, this is a pretty good size one. And all I'm going to do, take a big scoop. Don't want to make a mess on our pan because we will pay for it later. And I'm just using this as the spoon, and see it's nice how that just helps it come out. And I thought about putting less in each one and making more. And I actually read something the other day about how you want these really full to be able to get a nice rise out of them. So I'm going to let these kind of sit and go back and look at them. So I never wanted my show to be really about baking, even though I used to do a lot of baking. Unfortunately, it's more of a science project, getting everything just right. And I'm more about how to do things fast and easy without being too careful. And unfortunately, when you bake like this, measurements have to be pretty darn accurate. I did try and simplify them as much as I could. That doesn't mean I won't make a mistake myself. So you get the idea of what we're doing. I'm going to show you what one perfect one looks like. I'm going to finish these up. These are just going to go in the oven really 20-22 minutes. Keep an eye on them. You just want them to just get that little brown on top. You do not want to overcook these. Or they'll get nice and crusty. As soon as I do this last time, I'll show you what I'm talking about. What full should be. What a fool should be. Oh, that's Julie Rose. Alright. So first time you start filling them, you're gonna, it's not real accurate, so the topping off is real important. So I don't know if you can see this real well, but this is a little too much, but it'll be okay. These are probably perfect. Boom, boom, this hasn't settled. This one's probably just a little too low. So I'm just gonna go around and kind of even them up a little bit. Get them in the oven for 20 minutes. Take a look at them. Try to be gentle with the oven door. You don't want these things to fall. They're gonna fall a little bit when they're done. We wanna give them a nice, good baking through. Remember, it's only 325, okay? Not a 350 oven. And I'll finish these up and I'll see you back with the finished product. Yum. These cupcakes look perfect. So we've got just a little bit of, like I said, you just want a little suntan. We really don't want them just colored. Now the biggest thing is we don't want to ruin them. We're going to be very careful because they're very delicate and start to pull them out as soon as we can. I've given it about a minute. They're going to fall a little bit, but that's okay. And I got these filled pretty darn close to what I wanted. You see there's like one that's overfilled, and these things are really hot. Don't fool yourself. We want to get them cooled as quickly as possible so that they're just as beautiful as can be. Alright, so gotta let these cool because they won't do us any good if they're hot. They're going to ruin the icing. So I'm going to finish getting these out, and let's then we'll be moving on to the wonderful icing recipe I have for you. So I'll see you back, and let's give them 10 minutes to cool. Alright, so you saw how beautiful those cupcakes were, right? They were just absolutely perfect. So now I'm going to set up a double boiler here. So I got this old saucepan, and it's really cool because it has a pouring lip, which means it's going to let any excess steam out. So I just got on a low heat here. I just got a little bit of steam coming off. I can always turn it off later. I have 6 more egg whites in here. And you know, we're just going to kind of start the whole thing. Make sure we kind of break them up a little bit. Nothing fancy. Just making sure there's nothing wrong with them. And don't use a mixer for this because you really don't want to overdo it. So I just got them just broken up a little bit. I got 2 cups of sugar. Holy cow. So I'm going to put 2 cups of sugar in here. Now we're talking. So what do you think is going to happen? We're going to have a thick mess on our hands, right? So I just want to mix them together. That's going to wear you out. So I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. Put this in place. And don't burn yourself. And we're just going to whisk. And the steam part needs to be away from me, so I'm going to turn it around this way. Which is really funny because I need to do that first. So I got my little ring here in case I need it. So So we're just going to start whisking away. And for those of you who really like to have time on your hands, get it, time, 4 minutes. That's about how long it's going to take. Everything's incorporated now. So the next step is, it's going to thin out, okay? The sugar's dissolving, or will dissolve. And this is so much fun. Just make sure you don't. So where the bowl contacts the pan, you want to make sure the pan isn't getting too hot. So occasionally you're going to not burn yourself and you're just going to pick it up. And literally we just need to get this warm enough. That the sugar really dissolves completely. Remember what I said, baking is a little bit more tedious. You know, everyone's got those recipes that are from scratch, that their grandmother made, their mother made, and they're like, heck, I'm never going to make that. Well, here I am, making one of those recipes. I used to make angel food cake a lot, but as a whole cake in a bun pan, and I thought this would be more fun. And I'm really glad that the cupcakes did turn out really perfectly. If you had to unlock your whisk, it would be whiskey. I cracked myself. Just like those eggs I had. I have to confess, I blew it with 2 eggs, broke the yolks. That's why when you're separating eggs, I used to always have an egg separator. It's long gone, but they are worth it. Couldn't find one locally, so I did without. But remember, always put them in a bowl first, and then transfer it. So each one, so you don't contaminate the whole bunch if you screw up. It's really starting to thin out. So it kind of, I want to say it gives you more of a consistency of condensed milk. Maybe a little thinner. Like I said, we really want to be cautious about where the bowl sits in the pan. Can't believe it. 4 minutes of doing this. Where's Arnold Schwarzenegger when you need him? Well, the 20-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger. So this is going to make a really cool meringue icing. I need to take a break. So, look at how thin it is. It's got good consistency. It's got a little foam on top just from beating it. Now I know that it is way too warm to grab it. I can hold it by the ring, but I didn't want to pick it up. So let's get it out of here. Let's get that out of my way. Just check on it here. And you're just going to have foam on top. Underneath, if you kind of move it around, you're going to see the actual egg and sugar mixture. And we need to start whisking this, but we need to also know that if it's too warm, if it's way above room temperature, you're going to want to just start to get it beating, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. And I think we're going to do that because this bowl's pretty good at transferring heat out, but you just want to keep stirring it, right, mixing it up. And the mixing bowl for my mixer is actually in the fridge, so I'm going to go grab that now. So I keep my fridge real cool. So this is going to be the first stage of cooling it down. Let's see if I can do this without killing myself. Yeah, it's okay. So just want to start getting in here. And if you use smaller eggs, 6 eggs is equivalent to 3/4 of a cup. So that's really what your goal is. Spatula. Out of the way. So now what I want to do, I'm just going to kind of keep flipping this around a little bit. Feel the bowl. I'm going to keep my hand right down here. It's really toasty warm. Alright, so I'm going to stir this for about 2 minutes. I'm going to go to my mixer and we'll see you back in about 2 minutes. Alright, so the bottom of the bowl was like so hot I couldn't touch it. So I just put it in the refrigerator 2 minutes, and of course I used a hot pad so I didn't break the glass shelf, right? I know they're tempered, but don't trust that. Okay. So I'm just reincorporating, making sure everything's good. Alright, I think we're good to go. So this is the grueling part. I used to have a recipe that I liked, but this is the real way, the old-fashioned way. So we literally have to beat these eggs for 12 minutes because we're trying to get a good, solid. I don't know if you ever seen like meringues in like a bakery shop, but you really want to get a nice, stiff, glossy peak. And I'll show you that when it's done. So I'm going to put the whisk on. We're going to start off slow and work our way up. I want to get it up to a good medium high, so I'm not going to be able to talk too much. I'm checking to make sure the bowl is not too hot. It seems okay. And I'm going to go hit the time for 12 minutes and we'll see you back. Alright, it's been 8 minutes and it's gotten really, really shiny. And I think we've probably hit our goal. Oh yeah. So these are hard form peaks. I mean, this is like perfect. It went so quick, mostly because I had beaten it so much, and the cooling in the refrigerator. Don't make it too cool. I mean, I literally had it in the fridge for 2 minutes, but the time beating it really, really pays off. So we need to get all this stuff out of here. This is a sticky, sticky mess, but oh so good. watching this, this should be like just amazing. All right. Look at that. I mean, this is like perfect. Ooh. Ooh. So we're switching over to the paddle because it's like the best marshmallow you'll ever eat. This is like licking the spoon on drugs. Yeah. All right. That's so good at passing on. Okay. So back to the, so I got to get these back in here. Now we're going to use the paddle because for the next step, like I said, make sure it is cool. So what do I got to do? Cool, right? So I've got some almost room temperature butter we've got to beat in here. Ha! 3 sticks, okay? So let's get this just going. 1 tablespoon at a time. And it's salted butter, so we don't have to add salt. I'm just taking my time. So I have like almost half of it in. So once I hit the halfway point, I'm going to knock it up another notch just to get it going a little bit better, okay? kind of French-Italian combination thing. Butter meringue icing is like the bomb. The butter is going to give it that kind of heavy consistency, or not heavy, that's not the right word, but just silkiness to it. So because the color gets a little bit of from the butter, it's not that pure white. What I like to do is kind of my thing is lemon extract. Okay, now we don't want to go crazy, but this is going to kind of give it like this lemon meringue kind of thing. Okay, so when you eat these cupcakes, you're just going to be in heaven. And I want 2 teaspoons. And I really need to whip it good after that. About 30 seconds. So once you've really stabilized the the meringue and you made those really firm peaks, you really don't have to worry about hurting this recipe. It's just going to be the bomb. Key to it was, remember, is we want it nice and cool before we proceed. And all right, this is beautiful. Painstaking, great icing. It's light, it's the bomb. Alright, I gotta move my machine. So what I like to do, and I probably need a smaller, I swear I couldn't find this thing earlier. So what I like to do is I stuff a pastry bag and it's just easier using whips. I already made a mistake. I'll have to eat it. If you don't want to do the lemon thing, you can do just vanilla. That's fine too. No one's going to yell at you. It's your kitchen, you can do whatever you want, remember? I always laugh. Baking is where you get just as messy as the dishes. Fun. It really is fun. Okay. Now the first one might not be perfect because you gotta start the whole process. But these silicone bags are so much nicer than the plastic ones we used to use. Remember, everything was wilting. Now what I do is I want to start in the center, come right up to the edge. You can either do a swirl, like that, and the butter is really going to stabilize these. I do recommend refrigerating them. What do you think? Is this like bon appetit or what? There's no weight to these. I mean, these are beautiful. So light. Aren't you jealous? So this is why once in a while we do have to take some time, do something really extravagant, and have a little fun. I hope you really enjoy it. I'm going to finish decorating these all, get all my icing together. I will tell you that on occasion, if I'm doing a couple different flavors, I just have a little bit of lemon rind that I really in a fine microplane. Just kind of let everyone know these are lemon. Or you can just let them be surprised. Either way, it's your choice. But these really are the bomb. Hope you enjoyed it. I just wanted you to watch this one. Normally I would say, you gotta try it, but I know some people would be like, oh, this is pretty tough. But I hope you appreciate the fact I really did try and simplify it. The cupcakes are a lot easier to make than a whole angel food cake. So I've kind of just started doing more of this. Anyway, I will see you back next time with another fun recipe. Have a great day.